Boston Marathon in 2000 and I think it was 13, maybe 12. I'm not sure. Anyway, my husband and daughter and Suzanne Holt ran the Boston Marathon, and my daughter and Suzanne ran really well. And I finished in 3:24 and 19, which is a good time for a woman. And my husband was only pacing them, so he wasn't finishing the race with them. And so he slowed down and was just kind of jogging through. And I went to go find him at the finish line. Not really the finish line, but over where the people meet their families. It's called the greeting area. And I had sent my family off to the train station because my cousins and it was getting cold, and my daughter was cold, so they went to the train station with the baby and my grandson. And so I went over to find him, and I knew that I had an app on my phone, so I knew he had just passed the finish line. So I'm walking down the street, and all of a sudden I hear this boom, and the buildings shake, and I thought, oh my gosh, what was that? Had no clue what it was, and everybody on the street just stopped. 14 seconds later, we hear another boom, and my initial reaction was I thought a car hit the building. I thought some car has just slammed into a building because everything shook, and we all looked around, and the guy behind me said, "Oh, they're shooting off the cannons. It's Patriots Day." And the guy next to me said, "That wasn't a cannon. That was bad." And within 5 minutes, police started running everywhere and telling us to evacuate and to get out of there. Well, I didn't know where my husband was. He had just crossed the finish line, so I got real upset. I thought, uh-oh, what has just happened? And the guy running down the street with a megaphone was saying, "Evacuate, there could be more bombs. We need you to evacuate this area." And I thought, bomb? And that's when I realized a bomb had just gone off. And at that point, I went and stood in a doorway, just watched everything. And my phone started blowing up, and actually Coach Rowe called me from here, and he's like, "Are you all okay?" And I said, "I can't find Mark. I don't know where he is. I'll get back to you." And I turned it off real quick because my phone only had 10% left on it, and I knew that wasn't much. And then my kids called me, and I talked to them to let them know we were okay, but I couldn't find Dad. And I didn't know where to go. And I walked around the block, and I thought, he should be here somewhere. He should be coming in. And I walked, but they kept saying, "Evacuate, get out of here, evacuate." And so I was standing in the doorway, hiding, kind of thinking, oh gosh, what's going on? And finally I called my son-in-law who was at the train station, and I called him right away, and I said, "A bomb's gone off, y'all need to get out of here, get on the train, go get out of Boston." And he's like, "I heard it, is that what that was?" I said, "Yes, it was a bomb, get out of here." And then right after that, the phones cut off, and we couldn't make any phone calls because they turned the cell phones off because the bomb had been ignited through a cell phone, and so they turned them off. And so I had no way to use my phone except text messages kept coming through. So then all of a sudden I get this voicemail, and it was really funny because it was this Boston guy. This was within an hour. I mean, it was about an hour. I was crying. I was standing in this doorway, and I thought, what's happening? I don't know what to do, and I couldn't find my husband. And so my husband, Coach Fortney. And so then finally I get a voicemail from this weird number, and I thought, what in the world? So I listened to it, and it was this Bostonian guy from Boston. He said, "I got your husband, and we're in this church." He had this real Bostonian accent, and I was like, he goes, "We need to find you, and there's been a bomb that's gone off, and we're in this church." And I thought, oh my, so I knew he was okay at that point. And I had no idea where the church was. And I thought, okay, now what do I do? And then it was a few minutes later, I got a phone call, and I was like, oh my gosh, the phone's ringing. And I answered it, and it was my husband, and he had called on the landline. So a landline will go through when they turn the towers off. A landline will come through your phone, but cell phone to cell phone won't. So I talked to him, and he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm still down by the alphabet, on the block with the alphabet." And he said, "I'll be down there in a minute." And so he came down there and found me, and we started towards the train station, and there was nobody on the streets. It was like there was nobody. And I looked at him and I said, "Have you got any money?" And he said, "No, do you?" And I said, "No, my purse is with the kids." I said, "What are we going to do?" And he said, "I guess we're going to have to beg for some money." And about that time, this group of people starts walking towards us, and I looked and I knew them. They were people from, they weren't from Kentucky, but their daughter had gone to school with my son and ran track. And I knew the mom and dad real well, and I knew them, and we all started hugging, and we were crying, and their daughter was okay, and we were okay. And I said, "Do you have any money?" And they said, "Yeah." They gave us $20. So we got to the train station, And the funny part was our family was in the train station still, and they were in a huddle praying for us. And my daughter was really upset because we didn't, at the time know where Dad was. And by then, my phone was dead. I couldn't get hold of anybody. And so we ended up getting on the train, and then we got on the train, and the train stops, and the conductor says we can't go any further because they were searching the train. So the police were everywhere searching the train, and they wouldn't let us go any further. And I thought, okay, now what? And they finally, the conductor, about an hour and a half later, came through and said, I guess we should pledge.